This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
I'm Stu, she's Emily. There is a show happening, and based on the fact that she just did the hamster face, this weird smile with the teeth showing, we now know it is a show. Hi, how are you?
Woohoo! Hi, I'm great. Thank you. I'm so fabulous.
I said right before we went on, fun and energy, and there she is.
And the great thing about today is, as we know, I've been on my fitness journey.
Oh, the journey.
And today I had my 10th Orange Theory class, and it was so sweet.
Are you officially orange yet?
I sort of border on more of a reddy purple hue at the end and dripping sweat, but they took a photograph of me. They made a little sign and they were like, "Hey, Emily, congratulations for your 10th class." And I've never really been celebrated for, well, anything before. And so I felt really special.
Well, this is good. Is it kind of like a terrorist threat where now you move up to the red level and then eventually you get to whatever the highest level is and then you're in the jihad or something? Is that how that works?
No, but I can feel myself getting more fit. And what recently happened is when you first start, they do a little bit of a calculation and they choose and select what your max heart rate should be based on your age and weight and height. Anyway, they changed my max heart rate based upon my actual performance. And it's both good and bad. It's good because it's more accurate and now it's harder for me. I have to work a little bit harder to see some of the results. But it's bad because it's a little bit like a video game. And to get into those zones, I have to work harder. And so it's this terrible hamster wheel of self-injury that I've gotten on to, but I'm addicted to it now.
Well, you said it's kind of like a video game, and I'll just pass this on, a little bit of wisdom in case you want to write this down. If it's like a video game, in life, there are no cheat codes. You're welcome. You got that.
Is so profound.
Some wisdom I've passed down to you. Hey, look at that. She's got the picture held up there. 10 classes. And you're oh so shiny and happy. Look at you.
I know,
wow, you do sweat. A lot of sweat coming off of you.
Yeah, I'll have you know, I don't sweat. I fucking sparkle.
Okay.
So
that needs to be, again, a T-shirt.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Women everywhere that work out would wear that. That would be great.
It would be great.
Less guys, but we're selling to at least 50% of the population.
Right? Oh my gosh. Speaking of sparkling, did you hear the news, the story about that guy who put glitter on his testicles?
No, but it's interesting that you're bringing up testicles, and you'll learn why in minutes.
Wow. Well, all I can say about that guy is it's pretty nuts.
There you go. Didn't even see that coming. So we had the Lost show, and there were things that came up in the Lost show that now we don't have, but it occurred to me that I wanted to ask you, are your sons still calling you bro? Because I think adoption might be in order if that's still the case. I just wanted to check in with you on that.
Less frequently, but it is something that does happen every now and again. And I believe from talking to other mums that this is just the natural order of things, and it is an indication that my kids are on their way to becoming teenagers. And so it's that whole evolution. And again, this needs to be on a T-shirt. It is mama, mummy, mum, bro. And that is the evolution of your moniker as the mother of boys. And then maybe after bro, it's brah.
Yeah, brah is even worse than bro because it's just so dismissive. Is there any indication as to how long you're going to have to put up with the bro and or the brah?
They only do it absent-mindedly, and they sort of correct themselves. So something might happen. We'll be playing a video game, or we'll be playing a board game, or something will happen, and someone will do a move or something, and they'll sort of clutch their hair and go, bro, no. And then they'll be like, oh, mom. So it's...
But I mean, as far as years, like, does this stop when they're 18 or do you have to wait till like the early 20s or because I don't know if that's worth it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a tween phase.
That would be great.
What I'm fully expecting is that in a couple of years, they'll stop speaking to me at all, moving to communication through clicks and grunts. And so part of me then is sad because at least at the moment, we get along great. We talk a lot. We have a lot of fun together. We spend a lot of time together doing fun things. And they're really engaged around our relationship. And I think that when we get to caveman times where they just lock themselves in their room and just sit in there and marinate in their own filth and stink, and I'm going to miss them.
I think we need to do studies on this. I think it might be a direct correlation to Fortnite. I think maybe when they stop playing Fortnite, they move out of bro and maybe move into bra. Maybe there's a different game for that once they move out of Fortnite. I don't know, but it seems like there might be a correlation there.
Maybe. I think there's a lot of 40-plus-year-old men who play Fortnite right now who are turning to the mum who they still live with saying, bruh.
And I play a video game, but I have to be honest. I do. I don't play Fortnite. I play Elden Ring, the real video game. Mm-hmm. But I have to be honest and say that I kind of judge people that play Fortnite and are old men a little bit. I know I shouldn't. They're probably fine people. It's just such a kids type game, and it seems like they might be stunted, and that's my own judgment on that.
What about Mario Kart?
I have to say that Mario Kart's pretty fun at any age. It just gives into that child fun thing. Fortnite is just so tween that it kind of screams to the world that you are a tween, whether or not you're a tween.
I get that vibe.
Yeah.
It's like Roblox.
Another one.
Grown-ups that play Roblox,
Yeah.
red flag. Unless they're playing it because their kid plays it and they play with their kid, red flag.
Exactly. I think Roblox is even more of a thing. If an adult on their own is playing Roblox, they literally might be child molesters. I think we need to watch those people especially hard because that could be a real thing to watch out for.
Agreed.
All right. Surveillance, that kind of thing. Invasive surveillance. That's what I'm a proponent of. Invasive surveillance.
Speaking of which, how are you going with that neighbor of yours that had the camera?
Oh, the one that's up on the tree? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just walked by it and it was on the branch and the branch has fallen to now where it's pointed directly just at the ground. And I think it's just fake to throw people off. I haven't done anything about it, but every time I walk by, I want to just pull and grab it, but I don't because I don't want to get into more trouble. I have no guilt about yanking it down. I just don't want to get caught because I don't need any more trouble in this neighborhood.
I would really like for us to explore some sort of, I don't even know how to describe it, but some sort of what kind of crazy shit can we get captured on this camera? For example, anytime you're out for a walk, one of those just alternating inflatable weirdo suits. Dinosaur one day, sumo wrestler the next, alien abduction the following. I'd like to see you shirtless, 2 double fake nipple piercings and a mohawk. Just weird shit. Get a stuffed animal, put it on a leash, take it for a walk past the camera.
I would be willing to do all these things. I just don't think that it's really hooked up to anything. I think this is just a stupid camera that is there for looks. And maybe it worked at one point, but the way the wiring is, it's very old-timey wiring. It's got those RCA stereo plugs that go into it, and I think it's probably fake. I'd be willing to do it. I just don't know if it would be worth it.
There's one way that we can find out for sure.
Show my tits?
Well, keep going.
I don't need to be arrested.
Well, you don't need to be arrested, but the show needs you to be arrested.
If I get arrested for the show, I would like it to be at least worth it. I'll take one for the team. Just, not on a long-term basis in jail, taking one for the team.
No spoilers or anybody, but tune in next week for when I bail Stu out of prison.
Have to fly out. Yes, it's my fault. I told him to do it, so I'm here to take care of it.
Yeah, I'm looking for a depraved degenerate. Do you have... I'm looking for my degenerate. I've come to collect him. Yeah. Where is he?
We've got him right over here. He's right here.
Thank goodness.
You know who you're talking about.
I can berate you the whole way. Not even a fucking windmill. What have I taught you? Animal.
So, you know me, I look at stuff and I randomly think about stuff and I overanalyze it sometimes. But one of the phrases these days that's not quite bothering me, but kind of confusing me and rubbing me the wrong way a little bit is hangry. Hangry, I get it, is when you're hungry and angry. It's a combination. But here's my bother about it. If you look at it and you really break it down, the entire word angry is in the combination word hangry. So yes. I think it needs to be more balanced. I think we need more of the hungry in with the angry when we make the hybrid word so everybody really knows what we're talking about. So if we extend the hungry a little bit, I think hungry and angry now needs to be hungry.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Hungry. It's hungry, but it's hungry and angry. Now we've got more of the hungry, and now people will get it. They'll understand. And then when you snap and nearly kill them, they'll go, oh, it's okay. He's just hungry.
I really like, speaking of which, this has got me thinking about those Snickers ads. You're not yourself when you're hungry. I
think
those.
Maybe those started this whole trend of hangry, maybe.
I believe they may have. I use hungry, but I also use my other version, which is a combination of starving and ferocious, which is starvacious.
That I like and is more original. This is good.
Starvacious.
Except it almost sounds like enticing. Oh, I'm feeling very starvacious right now. That almost sounds like a sexual thing.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. I really felt like it was, they're starvacious.
Try starvacious with the husband and see what kind of reaction you get.
He's well aware of starvacious. It is common vernacular in our household. Right. One of our children has a really low body fat percentage.
Wow.
And what happens is we say hangry all the time to the point where we have to intervene. He'll start to get a bit punchy, and then we will have to say to him, we love you, but we are not going to talk to you until you eat something. And
has he been tested for blood sugar levels? I mean, is it literally like he's dropping down and
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go.
It's an actual, he gets all fucked up and his mental capacity diminishes and he gets overtly emotional and unable to, his cognitive function diminishes and he gets the rage. So we just fuel him up. He is the Snickers ad. He turns into angry little Joe Pesci, and then we just have to give him a Snickers, and then he's back.
The Joe Pesci comparison is great.
Yeah. Give him something to eat, and then he's like, Ma, and he's
Should
back.
have seen 2 Halloweens ago. He went as My Cousin Vinny. It was great. And, we're talking about food, and I saw this debate come up on the internet a couple days ago, and I just thought, I can't believe this is even a debate. When you're going to have cereal, do you go cereal in the bowl first or milk in the bowl first?
Okay, I'm so glad that you asked. This is a very common topic in our house. It is something that unequivocally, fight me on this, but if you put milk in your bowl first, you're a fucking serial killer.
Thank you.
It has to be cereal first, you absolute psycho. Yeah. Same as tea. Anybody who puts milk in, and in fact, I'm drinking tea for the show today. I'm having an English breakfast tea with just a splash of milk. If you make tea by having the little bag marinate in the milk first before you add the hot water, you've got problems.
I can't imagine doing that with either cereal or tea. That's insanity.
It is absolutely bananas.
But I saw quite a few people on the internet saying, oh my God, how is this even a debate? You put the milk in first and then you drop the cereal in. And no, if you do that, then first thing, the cereal floats at the top, and when you dump it in, it splashes everywhere, and you don't get a good coating. You put the cereal in, then you milk over, and that way you can judge your milk level because you want to dunk a little bit and get the cereal coated as you need it to be coated. And I can't even imagine that this is up for discussion, but apparently it is. Fucking psychos.
Fucking psychos. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Right. Absolutely outrageous.
Solved that one. So I have had a lot of stuff going on, stuff with my mom. Jesus, I love her, but she's a pain in the ass. And then this has been going on the last couple weeks. What's the name of this show? Total Babble?
Mm-hmm.
So that being the case, let's talk about my nuts. Here's the story. You alluded to nuts earlier. A couple of weeks ago, I was laying in bed just waking up, and I kind of rolled over and made an adjustment. And as I made the adjustment, I felt a growth on the very top of my right testicle. And it was small, like less than the size of a pea. But the way my brain works in my head, I've immediately got cancer that's spreading all over my body. And I'm freaked out and concerned, and I'm going to die soon. So I called to make a doctor's appointment. Yeah, it sucks. I go to the worst place. Anyway, so I called to make a doctor's appointment, and the soonest appointment is 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, I get to wait for 2 weeks before I see somebody. And that 2 weeks came up to be yesterday. And the night before yesterday, they called and they said, oh, we're sorry to tell you, the doctor's out sick. Do you want to make an appointment to reschedule, or the nurse practitioner is here? And I said, well, the nurse practitioner can do everything the doctor can do, and she can order tests and that kind of thing. And she said, yeah. I said, okay. I thought it's probably going to be a chick, which I'm fine with. I don't care. My friend is a nurse practitioner. I said, okay, let's go ahead and schedule. And they knew I was there for my physical and the nut check well before any of this happened. So I go to the doctor's office, I check in, and my first fun thing I like to do is when you're sitting there in the waiting room and they open the door and they say, Mr. Stewart, I love to just look at them and go, what? And then just sit there. Okay, I don't really do that, but I thought it would be fun to do.
It's a physical exam, not a psych exam, right? Let's just clear that up.
If everybody, when they call you, just went, what? And just stared at them, I think it would be fun. Anyway.
I mean, I'm trying to convince my children that that's not the done thing. And in fact, I keep taking away their privilege because they'll be like, hey, come upstairs. Or I'll call their name. They'll be like, what? And I'm like, wrong answer. Give me all your electronics and get outside.
And they go, take it easy, bruh.
Yeah, take it easy. Calm down, bruh. Simmer down. Simmer down, sugar tits. Anyway, please do continue with the Nut Lump Chronicles.
So then I'm like, okay, I don't care if it's a female. This is a medical professional. I don't care. I just want to know that I don't have cancer spreading throughout my entire body. So the nurse practitioner walks in, and of course, it's an attractive Asian woman. And then I think, okay, what if I have a reaction? And I'm like, okay, no, you're together enough. You're not going to have a reaction. This is a medical thing. Nothing weird about this. So we start going through everything, and I tell her about my occasional tinnitus and here for a physical for my insurance. And then I tell her about the ball, and she seems more uncomfortable with it than I am. I'm just like, let's get this done. And she says to me, well, I don't have anyone here today that can be here or that can check you for that. I was like, oh, fuck. So now I'm frustrated again. And then she says, but I can order an ultrasound and we can do that. And I almost was like trying to talk her into grabbing my nut to examine it. And I thought, this is the weirdest circumstance I've ever been in with a woman where the reasoning before handling my balls was up for argument, you know? And it was just like, come on, let's be clinical. You're a doctor. And I thought, what kind of world do we live in where a guy can't get a nut examination? And I didn't go that route, but I was still getting so frustrated because we live in a world where a guy can't get a nut examination and it's a clinical thing, and what the hell is up with our healthcare? Are there enough psychos in the world that this is really a problem? Guys that fake a growth so they can go in and get their balls handled? This just seems amazing to me. So She orders the ultrasound, and I said, that's what the doctor would do anyway, and she says yes. So now I'm still frustrated and still freaked out, and on my way home, I go to the car, and I sit there, and I start to make the appointment with the ultrasound place, and of course, I get just this complete dipshit at a call center that doesn't know what's going on. I have to spell my last name for her 4 or 5 times, and she's putting me on hold for a long time because she's trying to pull up appointments, and I have to give her all my updated information because the last time they saw me, I lived 100 miles away. And I sat there for 20 minutes and I said, I'm going to start driving now. I said, it would probably be easier if I just stop into your office that is right there on my way home. I know where one of your clinics or offices is. Well, you can do whatever you. So then we, about a block and a half away from where this clinic is, she says, okay, the soonest we have is June 5th. I said, I want to get in there as soon as possible. June 5th. I said, June 5th is the absolute soonest? She said, yes. I said, okay, go ahead and book it. 7:30 a.m., but you have to be there early. So that's even more of a pleasure. So I'm like, okay, thanks. I smile and hung up with the most unhelpful, uninformed person I feel like I've ever talked to. And I walk into this other place and I said, I know if I find this place and talk to somebody there, it's going to be so much better and it's going to be not what that person told me. First off, I walk for about 20 minutes because it's like within a medical complex and it's in a building behind a building, and I finally find it and I walk in and I said, I just talked to somebody at one of your call centers who really didn't have it together. I have this. I give her my form. I said, I want to get this done as soon as possible. Do you have anything else that you can do for me? Is there anything sooner? She looks and she punches it in. She goes, oh yeah, we can get you in tomorrow afternoon. Okay, great. Let's do that. Why was the other person so unable to tell me that? And it just goes back to this stupid world that we live in where half of what we're told is just complete bullshit and nobody does the right thing. And I get so frustrated. And now I'm frustrated because I have a thing on my balls and I'm still very worried and concerned. That's where I'm at right now.
So you haven't had your ultrasound yet, and it's
ultrasound
happening
is today. Yeah, it's coming up today. Wow. I'm thinking about maybe recording it, and maybe that would be fun.
I mean, for who?
For the audience. I'd record it for the end. I could do a whole joke fest with the guys or girl. I don't care if it's a girl. Handle my nuts. I don't care.
Well, good luck for that. I'm sure it's going to turn out to be something innocuous like an ingrown hair or some sort of just gross.
Well, it's not on the skin. It's on the actual ball. That is my concern. And I feel like I'm going to be an example in this. That is my goal here, is to be an example. Either it turns out to be nothing, and guys listening to this will be like, oh, okay, it turned out to be nothing. Stu is the example. I'll get it checked. Or being that it's less than the size of a pea, maybe it'll be treated and guys will go, okay, I should look for this kind of thing, or I will die of cancer and people will get their nuts checked early in order not to die of cancer. So either way, I'm trying to do my part here.
Well, I'm going to put my money on a cyst.
There's something called a spermatocyst that my nurse practitioner friend said it could be, and that's what it sounds like. That's what I'm hoping, because that's not a big deal.
Well,
you were shaking your head like you knew what that was, by the way. Oh, yeah. That's
yeah, they can get, the ducts can get blocked.
Oh, you do know what it is. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were just shaking your head in support unknowingly. No. Well, both. I was doing both. One, nodding my head in support, and two, also in acknowledgement that I know exactly what you're talking about. Because I'm thinking she doesn't have a pair of nuts as far as I know, so how does she? Okay.
I know a lot of things that I probably shouldn't. None of it is useful. But I'm sorry that you had to go through that experience, but I'm really glad that you've sought medical attention and that you go and do this. It's interesting. I have noticed that over time, for me as a woman, now, if I ever see a male doctor, a male dentist, a male anything, there is always a woman in the room. They will not, say, for example, I had a breast lump 2 years ago, And so I had to go through that. I had to get a biopsy and all this sort of stuff.
And for the record, I know women
Mm-hmm.
go through this all the time, and it's ovaries and all kinds of stuff, and you guys are probably more used to it. So I'm aware of that.
Well, I mean, maybe, but it's just that opposite gender element, right? And so every time I had a man feeling my boobs, there had to be a woman there, or if there was a male doctor examining something like an ultrasound or a rad tech or something, they would have to have a chaperone, which is really interesting to me. And it's got me thinking like some really weird shit. Like, for example, what if I was a lesbian? Or what if the ultrasound tech who's giving me a transvaginal ultrasound was a lesbian? Does that change it? Now, by the way, I have zero qualms about this, but it's more a commentary around the inherent bias of who they're selecting to be a chaperone and where they think this is a problem.
It's very assumptive, and it could go the wrong way. Yeah, that's a very good thought.
So for you, for example, what if you loved the cock and it was a male doctor in there? Are we going to have a female doctor in there as well, or a female nurse like supervising whatever's happening here?
What if next time I go in and he checks me, I go, oh, yeah, that's good. And I'll go like, oh, maybe give me a woman next time. What if I play along and pretend to be into it? Maybe next time he's out, it won't be so much of an issue. Or what if I'm bisexual, then they can't get anybody to do it.
Exactly. I mean, and bisexual, does that mean that you're more sexual twice as often or sexual every other week?
Yes, and. Probably both. That means anytime, anywhere, let's go. It means your odds are highly increased.
Highly increased.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I find it highly assumptive. But I'm all for having chaperones in the room when there are delicate or sensitive things that could be misconstrued or anything. But I think that it should be equally applied in a way that is not presumptive.
What about if it's chaperones, if it doesn't matter the gender, as long as there is another person in there? Because you're right. Based on whatever you're into, it could be an issue. And as long as there's another person there to bear witness that everything was above board, that should be good enough, you'd think, you know?
Right.
Because I was frustrated enough that I'm like, I'll show anybody my nuts right now. I just want to get this taken care of so I know that I'm healthy. So let's get this going. And it's frustrating. And it comes to mind, too, that this is the case probably based on the amount of people that have sued doctors because they've said that things have gone inappropriately. In some cases they have, but maybe in some cases it's people just looking to cash in. So they do that. That is also the world that we live in.
Yeah, I agree.
It's stupid.
It is a bit silly.
Right.
But then also, to play devil's advocate.
Because you advocate for the devil.
I do.
Yeah.
So, she doesn't have X-ray vision. He or she or they, whoever the nurse practitioner, nurse, doctor, medical professional, they don't have X-ray vision. And so part of me is like, why do the old fondle anyway? Like, and I'll use myself as an example. I found a lump in my boob. Now, it was small, but I know it was there and it's new because they're my boobs. They live on me and I have been able to detect the change.
Right.
It's like I walk into my room and I know if something's been moved. Somebody else might come in and be like, does it always look this shit? No, there's been a break-in. Like I can tell. So then you go to the doctor and I wonder at that point, why does the fondling need to occur? Because what are they going to do? Validate further? Yep, there's a lump. Yeah, well, I fucking told you. That's why I'm here. I mean...
No shit.
No shit, Sherlock. And then, so you're going to write up an order. So I just wonder, has your doctor actually... She is the way of the future. Your nurse practitioner, she's living in 2030. She's like, let's just skip past the extra fondle let me take your word for it. You know that something is amiss.
Right.
It's your nutsack.
Right.
So let's go straight to imaging because I'm not Superman and I can't see inside. And so part of me is like, maybe don't be offended. Maybe be like, finally, a genius walks among us.
That's a good point. And to her credit, I mean, she had it together and she was obviously very smart and knew what she was doing. But to her point, she said, but we can order an ultrasound. And I said, that's what the doctor's going to do anyway, right? And she said, yes. So I'm like, okay. And then you look at the form where they order it, and it's all very general. It's not like they say, okay, you need to x-ray the upper portion, but it has boxes checked. And it's like, okay, I would have rather have just gone to the dumb shit scanning place and get my nuts done beforehand, but everybody needs to get their little bit of, I'm sure, whatever insurance is getting paid. So I'm sure that's part of it too.
Everyone's got to clip their ticket on the way through.
Yeah.
I think the only thing left for you to do is to take a photocopy of your nuts and take that with you to the ultrasound. I've heard that is helpful.
And I'll point and I'll go, okay, now it's internal on the internal ball right around this area, and I will point to the picture. Or I'll get like a big poster and walk in with it.
Yeah, and a pointer, but not a digital pointer. That's for losers. Get a telescoping pointer that you can pull out and you can be like, whoosh.
What about a laser
see.
pointer? Is that better than laser or not as good as laser?
No, I feel like the one that is physical that you have to pull out like some sort of time traveling, university lecturer. That's where it's at. And you should get really scientific. It is in the upper left quadrant at 2:15. It is approximately 5 millimeters in diameter.
Left of the meridian.
Yes, exactly. But on a photocopy, and ideally, it should not have been done in the privacy of your own home. It should be done at the FedEx store, the UPS. I don't care where you do it, but you need to have had to get on to that machine and just photocopy it. Just a full frontal photocopy and do it straight-faced.
The best part of having the telescoping thing that is metal is when I hold the poster up, I can smack it against the poster board and go, it's right about here, crack, and show them exactly where I'm talking about as I describe all that. This is going to be a lot to pull together before 4 o'clock today.
Do you think that a meth head wakes up and says, I don't have time or money to get high today? No, they fucking don't. Don't be a quitter. Get after it.
It's important to achieve your goals. Very important to achieve your goals.
If you think you can, you will. I believe in you. But the thing about the pointer that is just sort of chef's kiss is that when you come in there with an AO sized, and that's like a movie sized poster, photocopy of your entire nether regions, the pointer sends a message, and the message is, I think you can't see my cock and balls. Let me point them out.
Okay, now then the other thing that just came to mind too is...
Yeah, it has to be in black and white.
Yeah, that's the way I pictured it.
It's more medical that way.
Do I take the picture beforehand or do I do it at the FedEx office? I turn around and go, excuse me 1 second, and take a quick picture. And I guess iPhones are good enough for that, all the megapixels. How many megapixels do you need for a scrotum?
I feel like part of what doctors enjoy about their job is the mystery, and medical imaging is usually very grainy. Less pixels, more higher performance. So I think that you should go and find the dustiest, most craptacular photocopying sort of center, like at the back of some dead shit Walmart somewhere, your favorite store. And
so get like a burner phone and take a picture with a burner phone at Walmart.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know any burner photocopiers. I'm talking like a big Xerox machine. Like something really big, like something that you're going to have to get onto like you're mounting a horse.
Well, it's not the Christmas party yet, so.
It's going to be Christmas at the UPS
like
store.
Christmas here today.
Well, maybe you can put glitter on your balls. Then it'll be Christmas.
Maybe if I would have done that first, I could have given a quick flash to the nurse practitioner, and she would have gone, ooh, look, and maybe that would have worked. Look at the sparkly thing. It's like keys.
It's like keys. Well, and here we are. We've gone full circle back to my joke about Pretty Nuts and the story of why you're going to get arrested and why I'm going to be coming to bail you out of prison or jail.
And at this point, we've worked it up enough that it will be worth it. This is what I'm feeling.
Awesome.
All right.
We have a plan.
It's going to be a lot to do. I still have other stuff to do today, but I'll give it my best.
There is no try, only do.
That's right. When Yoda said that, he was talking about nuts. Did you hear that AI is really stupid?
Yes.
That's been coming up a lot lately. Recently, someone asked AI how to keep cheese from sliding off pizza, and its recommendation was to mix cheese with glue and put that on pizza. It gave specifics. It talked about adding 1/8 of a cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce to give it more tackiness also. And that recommendation appears to have come from a joke Reddit post from 11 years ago, and AI doesn't know that eating glue is dangerous. So we have that to look forward to as we move into our high-tech world and the robots that are going to take over. What the hell?
One thing I will point out about this is that you did stipulate that the AI suggested non-toxic glue. And
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if this was a thing when you were a kid, but when I was a kid, we had a thing called clag glue. And the little grommets, they would eat that shit all the time. Kids would eat glue at school. It was a common thing that would happen in the baby set. The AI did say non-toxic, so you could technically eat it.
I think we had Elmer's glue here. Is that what you're talking about? That kind of white. And I think some kids ate Elmer's.
Yeah, it's a similar level of proliferation. You know, Elmer's is the brand, but this clag glue, it was almost like a glue that you make out of flour or whatever. It's kind of chunky. It was in a triangular shaped bottle, and it had a little brush in the top of it. And you would used to stick things together. It's a different consistency. It's almost like porridge or like a slime. Oh, and Elmer's is more like a slime, but this was chunky. I'll have to
Smack the mic. You'll have to smack the mic.
Yeah, I'll have to smack the mic. Okay, so I don't know if you can see my nails, but I haven't gotten them done in like a month. And so they're so long, I am struggling to even tie up my shoelaces. And so people might be hearing this thinking that I have those insanely long, disgusting nails. No, I just can't drive these things. They're not that long, but they are unequivocally
About a quarter of
long.
an inch off your finger, I'd say.
Yeah, they're not that long, but they're very cumbersome.
Wouldn't most women look at that and say, hey, that's very attractive, and wouldn't that be the kind of thing that they want? Don't they like that? Guys, by the way, if ever it comes into question, guys don't care about the length of your fingernails, ladies, but also if you're doing that for other women, don't they like that?
Well, there's a couple of questions in there. One, do other women like them? I do get comments on my nails from both men and women alike.
Well, the guys are trying to pick up on you. That's all that is.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But it seems unlikely.
Any guy that's giving a compliment on a woman's nails, that is his motivation. And probably a guy that would do that plays Fortnite. What are you doing?
Yeah, maybe that. Or maybe he is gay as Christmas.
Oh, didn't think about that. You could be right.
Yeah. So it could be that as well. But yeah, I think that I do actually, I know for a fact that some men do like longer nails, but I think we can all agree that nobody likes those crazy long nails that are covered in shit, bedazzled, and have crazy stuff all on them. You know, the horror nails that whoever has them can't do anything, like probably can't even wipe their own ass. Those nails, no one likes those.
I think as a guy, if you see a woman with those nails and you're thinking about dating her, starting a relationship with her, if you see that on her, my assumption would be at least that, wow, she's really problematic and is going to be a pain in the ass because she's really that into that and really needs to be the focus of attention. That would be my assumption anyway.
I can see where you're going with that. I definitely make unfair assessments of people based upon their nails, but I'll tell you what mine is. If I see somebody with crazy, impractical nails, I think she's a do-nothing bitch. Like, doesn't do anything.
Because
like,
she has the time to do that.
Well, no, because if you've got knives for hands, you can't wash dishes, do laundry, even putting a key card or a credit card into the pump to pump your own gas. When you've got nails that are that long, you need a tool to like clip a card and that kind of stuff. It is so impractical that person can't do a lot of really common things. So I make an assumption that they can't cook, they can't clean. And for me, men, women, this isn't a gender stereotype in terms of I think that women should be doing those things. It's more a case of I think that every human should be able to take care of themselves or to be able to contribute meaningfully in some way. And if you can't use your hands, then you are in some ways unable to contribute to the job, the group, the family, whatever you're doing. So basically, if we're going to go to an island or I'm picking my team for the zombie apocalypse, anybody with the do-nothing nails, they're not coming on my team. I don't care if you can start a leaf blower. Fuck off. No.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter gender-wise. It just speaks to the kind of person that you are. If men had nails like that, it would make them impractical as human beings, too. It's just the fact that we tend to see it on women only. And in my opinion, we see it on trashy women that would show themselves to be a pain in the ass.
And you made a good point, and I want to reiterate it. This is not exclusive to women.
Right.
This is the impracticality of having knives for hands makes me feel like you would be useless and therefore a big problem.
Yeah. All right. So as we prepare for that, because that's probably the next step in all of this that we're going through as a world is the whole zombie thing. It's going to get to the point where it's like, okay, we've run out of fire and famine and disease and smallpox. We got through that again. What can we throw next at this parasite that is on us? That is what the earth will say. We need to get rid of these humans. Okay, zombie apocalypse. Have them kill themselves. That's what the earth will throw at us next.
I wouldn't be surprised. Art imitates life in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. I would be horrified, let me be clear. But I would not be surprised if it is some sort of Last of Us hellscape.
Just another example of the AI trying to kill us as we wrap this up. Another response to AI questions. Recommended that users eat at least one small rock a day. AI told people to eat rocks because rocks contain vitamins and minerals that are important for digestive health. And it does come with a warning, however, that eating rocks can be dangerous. So it acknowledges the danger, but still tells you to do it. And then I just thought, okay, maybe if we get to that point, AI will create rocks that are shaped like Flintstone vitamins. That could be the next thing.
Well, in defense of AI is only as good as the information that you give it.
Yep.
So its ability to make recommendations and discern things is made by is from the information that it has been populated with by whoever is in charge of that. Did you know that chickens eat rocks to aid in their digestion?
I didn't, but then I think I heard that now that you mention it. I seem to recall that.
Did you also know that in impoverished communities where an iron deficiency is a problem, that it is recommended that those people cook with iron cookware? Or you can use a little thing that is like a little iron fish, specifically for the purpose of, and I don't want to ruin the surprise here, iron, to improve the iron deficiency, because you can actually get important dietary iron from cast iron cookware or the little iron fish.
And aren't there people that eat dirt? I seem to remember hearing something about that.
Yes, there absolutely is. And I want to get I can't recall the country, but when women are pregnant in particular, they do eat these little dirt cakes. It is a particular, it's a mud cookie.
Yeah, you're right. I saw that on a special. Yep.
Yeah, and it is, I believe it's Haiti, and they have this thing called a mud cookie, a galette, or like a bonbon something. But yeah, it's eaten in Haiti.
Yeah. The thing that jumps out at me that AI, as they analyze these things, doesn't know the difference between actual statements and jokes. And a lot of it is it's reading jokes online and just taking them as facts. And to me, the benefits that this thing could provide do not even slightly come close to it killing us. And I think it's going to kill us at some point. I think we need to stop it, but we're not going to, because we're dumb humans. And this is the way we go. Well,
I think that ChatGPT, let's call out ChatGPT as a form of AI. Okay. Now we're not sponsored by OpenAI or anything. I just happen to like ChatGPT, and I use it a lot. So I just logged into ChatGPT and I just said to it, "Tell me a joke. Here is said joke. Why don't skeletons fight each other?" They don't have the guts.
Okay. That's a third grade joke. Good one, chat.
Sure is. Yeah, okay. These are super craptastic.
I've got a joke. Saw this just a couple minutes ago, in fact. A lot of people think that T-Rexes can't clap their hands because they have really short arms. Really, the problem is that they're dead. So there you go.
Do you know what lives rent-free in my head about dinosaurs?
Love that phrase, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It was especially for you.
Yeah.
But think about this, really, because I think about it often. Way, way, way more often than I should. Dinosaur noises. Dinosaur noises are made up.
Yeah.
We have no idea what dinosaurs sounded like. They could have yodeled. They could have sounded like chickens. They could have been meowing. We've made some, I think, logical estimates, but think about other things that are still here. One, birds are actually some of the closest animals, or alligators or crocodiles. Now they snarl and like and whatever, but these roars and all this sort of stuff, how do you know? The answer is you don't. And so I am obsessed. Every time I hear dinosaurs making sounds, I'm like, you sure? I don't know if I'm buying it.
Well, what if the sound of a T-Rex, other than that big roar, was actually like, hey? What if that's the sound they made? That would be great. I'd like to see that on Land of the Lost.
It would be amazing. I would actually like, and if somebody better and smarter than me can do this, but if you could get, I don't know, Jurassic Park or any sort of dinosaur movie, and if you could change all of the noises to that of how people say the noise that a rooster makes in different parts of the world. So one dinosaur would be cock-a-doodle-doo. Another one would be doodle-doo. Like, and just, I don't know what they are, but there's a whole bunch of different sounds.
Dinosaur dialect.
Different dinosaur dialects. I think that would be amazing.
I like it. Okay, so we should end the show because I think you probably need to go to another meeting or something, and I need to go get my nuts checked. So,
well, Godspeed.
Thank you.
Fingers crossed for a successful nut examination. In case there was any confusion, I don't want to see the photocopy. That's It's only for medical professionals.
So don't send that to you're saying.
Please do not.
Okay, all right. Noted. And I'm also doing the thing in my head where I go, whatever higher power it is, please let me get through this. Let it not be a thing. And I swear I will be a better person. Maybe I will be. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow. So
She was dumbfounded. I like the dumbfound.
So for one,
Yeah.
I feel like it's really bad juju to make promises that you have no intention of keeping.
I wouldn't say I have no intention. I'm just saying that I'm realistic and I would like to do it. It's just very hard to be such a good person when so many people out there suck. Let's be honest.
What if you soften the commitment to something you can really throw your weight behind, which is, if you continue to give me the chance, I will endeavor to be a better person.
I like it. That
feels reasonable and achievable.
Basically, you're just saying, hey, help me here. I'm going to try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Noted on many different levels. Show done. Hi.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Threads. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.